we are in my very own kitchen, and welcome to episode 3 of CarbSmart's Dana Carpenter's Low Carb for Life. We are cooking again today, as we have been all along, and today we're going to do something really interesting. We are going to make cookies out of pork rinds. Yes, I said we're going to make cookies out of pork rinds. The first time I tried this, I was smashing up the pork rinds and I thought to myself, Dana, you've been eating low carb too long, you have gone right around the bend. You are crazy, you are now making cookies out of pork rinds. Then I tried them. And then I had other people try them. One of the best ideas I ever had. They're great. So, here's what, and they're very quick, they're very easy, they're no bake, and really only have 3 ingredients. We're going to need some natural peanut butter, that's the kind that has no sugar or hydrogenated oil in it. I have seen recently peanut butter that was labeled natural that had sugar in it. So even if it says natural peanut butter, read the label. It shouldn't have anything in it but peanuts and possibly salt. That's all it should have. And peanut butter, we're going to need half a cup of this. We're going to need 8 ounces of sugar-free semi-sweet chocolate. Now these are Nevada Manna sugar-free chocolate chips, but if you can't get these, you can use any semi-sweet sugar-free chocolate. I think the Hershey's Dark mini bars, the sugar-free ones, would work fine. Any semi-sweet sugar-free chocolate should work just fine. And then we're going to need a 5-ounce bag of pork rinds. So here's how it goes. First we're going to measure half a cup of our natural peanut butter. This is a brand new jar. Shake it up because of course the oil rises to the top. That's how you know it's the good stuff. There are some natural peanut butters now where they add some palm oil to keep it from separating, and that's okay. Nutritionally, palm oil is a little hard on the environment, but it's certainly not going to hurt you. But I'm fine with the stuff that separates. I've been using it for so long. Okay, half a cup of peanut butter. Gotta love peanut butter. You could, if you're allergic to peanuts, you could do this with almond butter, and it should work just fine. Put this in a microwaveable bowl. Needs to be microwaveable. There we go. Put this over here. We're going to use the whole 8 ounces of chocolate, so just dump that in there. I'm going to put this in the microwave. I'm going to give it just a minute to start with on high power. Now, we're going to take our bag of pork rinds. Let's get this out of the way. We're going to take our bag of pork rinds and stick a hole in it to let the air out. Oh, sorry. Did not mean to stick a hole in my counter. Then we're going to get out our frustrations. You just want to smash your pork rinds till they're fairly fine. Oh, here it comes up. No, I have dogs. It's all good. So just smash up your pork rinds. You want them in bits maybe anywhere from pea size to a ½ inch. So this is a very quick thing to do. Just smash up your pork rinds. Okay, we are now going to need a big bowl. That's a little big. Smash it a little more. Okay. Dump the smashed pork rinds in the bowl. And if you find you have any bits that are too big, you can just break them up with your fingers. Not really a fancy thing to do. Okay, let's take a look at our peanut butter and chocolate. Here we go. It's starting to melt, but it's not completely melted yet. So we're going to take that same spoon, stir it, start blending it. Again, may as well lick your finger. And then put it back in for another 30 seconds. Okay, we have nothing interesting to do for these 30 seconds. So maybe I'll explain to you about this pan. This is your standard 9x11, I think it is. It's your average roasting pan. As you can see, this one has been around for a long, long time. I have had this pan since about 1985. It's been around a long time. That's part of why, instead of greasing it, I have lined it with released foil. This is a wonderful new thing. It's been around for a few years. Reynolds Wrap makes it, and it's non-stick aluminum foil. Reynolds Wrap, if you would ever like to pay me to advertise your product, I love it. I think it's great. It really does work, the release foil. It is now absolutely a standard item in my home. So here's our chocolate and peanut butter again. And they are now thoroughly melted. That aside so you can see. Stir it till it's blended. There we go. And once again, make sure, you know, they're broken fairly fine. Pour this over your pork rinds. I'm gonna probably want a rubber scraper for this too. I should have laid one out, but I didn't. So I'll just step out of the camera frame for a second and grab one and throw things around. Scrape that off there. Scrape the rest of this out. And there you go. Now, see, this is why you cook, because how else can you get great food so easily? Then you just mix this up. You can see what I'm doing. You just want to keep mixing it until all your bits of pork rinds are evenly coated. And if you break them up a little bit more as you do it, that's fine. They're starting to get pretty evenly coated. I want them a little more evenly. By the way, I have ever made this same recipe and pressed it into a pie plate, then refrigerated it, and when it was chilled, filled it with sugar-free vanilla CarbSmart ice cream from Breyers, and sugar-free chocolate syrup, and chopped peanuts. This definitely does not suck. Okay, as you can see, that's all pretty evenly coated now. We're going to turn this into our foil-lined pan, scraping to make sure we get all the peanut butter and all the chocolate. And then we're going to press it as evenly as we can into this pan. And, you know, maybe a little uneven. It's not a big deal unless you're, I don't know, planning on serving it to guests or something. But press this out into the pan. You could use a smaller pan and make them thicker. I prefer to use the bigger pan, and maybe they're a little thin, but on the other hand, I get more bars. So, okay, we press that out, and of course, the finer you break up your pork rinds, the smoother your layer is going to be. But on the other hand, it's going to seem a little less crispy when they're done. So, okay, now all we have to do is chill these for a while and cut them into bars, and we're done. Okay, we're back with our cocoa peanut Porkies. I actually had them in the freezer for a little bit so they chill quickly. Usually just put them in the fridge. And it's time to cut them. Now, I'm going to have a little aside here though. You see this really, really ugly knife? Do you know why this knife is so ugly? It's made from real carbon steel, not from stainless steel. That's why it takes an edge you could shave with. I get all my best knives at yard sales and thrift shops because people don't want ugly knives. And I have a good knife sharpener, and I have some of the sharpest knives around. So anyway, we're going to just cut these into some bars. Probably easier to do actually if you haven't frozen them, if you just put them in the fridge. But you are going to want to store these in the fridge. These are not the kind of thing you want to store out of the refrigerator because, again, they're just, you know, chocolate and peanut butter. Well, I suppose you could store them out of the fridge if you happen to air condition your house way, way, way beyond what I do mine. But I'm thinking really probably not the best idea. And just cut them into bars. This is some, oh come on. This is why I had to use a big sharp knife. Big sharp knife. And again, you can use a different size pan if you want. You could use a smaller one and get thicker bars. And again, you can also press this mixture into a pie plate and get a really nice crust for a pie made with sugar-free ice cream. Or I suppose you could even use sugar-free pudding mix, but I don't eat a lot of sugar-free pudding anymore. Okay, we have here enough bars that we can pull one out and eat it. Oh, stop that. Useful item. This actually has a sharp leading edge. There we go. And they'll be a little crumbly, but there you go. They got a little salty flavor from the pork rinds, but people rarely guess what the main ingredient is. And, oh my gosh, they're good. People will think you're insane when you first try this. Your family's going to walk in the kitchen and see you making cookies from pork rinds and go, what is wrong with you? Then they're going to try them and say, could you make those every day? So please, if you make nothing else I tell you about, give the cocoa peanut Porkies a try. I mean, assuming you are, like most people, a chocolate and peanut butter fan. Unbelievable. Come see us next time.